Hey everyone. Hopefully you're watching this on Monday. At least that's when I'm going to post it. But if you're watching it on Tuesday, that's fine as well. So just wanted to post a video to wish you good luck. I wish, usually before the AP exam, I have a bunch of snacks in my room and people come and I have pencils and pens in case people need those. But it's a little different of a situation here. But I still wanted to take some time, give you some tips, give you some words of encouragement, and send you off. And if you're one of the people watching this video, you're probably one of the people that have, or one of the students that have been putting in the most work. And you're probably the most prepared out of anyone in the classes to do well on it. So I have been very pleased and very proud of all of you for the work you've put in. This has not been an ideal situation. I know it's been difficult to stay motivated and stay engaged, but you made it. All that hard work is going to pay off today. And the biggest thing to remember, too, is how you do on this exam in terms of a score doesn't really define the experience you had in this class, especially for those of you that have stayed engaged. You've made it work, even though it's not the perfect situation. You have learned more than probably any other students I've had in AP psychology so far just by going through this situation, making it work, being flexible. And that's going to prepare you more for life than anything I've taught you. So just remember that when you get to your exam tomorrow, after the exam, just be proud of what you've done so far. And, maybe that takes a little bit of stress off the exam. If you are feeling stressed out about the exam, here's a couple of things I'll say to maybe help you out. So the first thing is you've done this before. All you're doing is writing FRQs. You're doing it from your home, so you're in a comfortable environment. Yeah, the testing program is a little different than doing it on Google Classroom, but you're still going to type it out on a Google Doc. At least that'd be my suggestion. So you've been here before. You've done FRQs. I went back in the grade book. You've written 13 FRQs so far. So you're prepared. You've done this before. And actually, these FRQs are going to be a little easier because if you think about it, when we were in class, you rarely were able to have your notes. And you did pretty well on those FRQs. So that's one thing to think about when you're going into this, be in that mindset that I've done this before, build up that confidence in yourself, and then let it go from there. The other thing, hopefully, like I said, you're watching this on Monday. Have a little routine set up for tomorrow morning where you get up maybe a little earlier than you usually would. Your exam's at 1 p.m. You can see that on the screen, but I suggest that you get into the testing program at 12:30. I'll post the link, but I'll be doing a little virtual Google Hangout just from 11:30 to 12:30. If you got any final questions or want to talk, I'll be on there. But I would say, get up around, don't wake yourself up super early, but get up enough time where you can eat some breakfast, maybe get outside, go for a walk. Weather's supposed to be a little nicer. Do something to get your body up and moving around. Get some food in you. And then around 12:15, really start to settle in, set up wherever you're going to take your exam. Hopefully it's distraction free, pretty quiet. That way you can go ahead and get in at 12:30. The other thing you can do ahead of time too, just take some of that stress away, is make sure you have everything you need ready to go. So the biggest thing is you should have got that AP exam e-ticket sent to you to your email. It should have came on Sunday. If you didn't get it emailed to you, I know some of you are reaching out to me about that. It should be in your, if you go into AP Classroom and you go to My AP, it should be in there. The other thing too is know your AP ID. And then Chrome is the suggested browser, and make sure it's the most recent updated version. Some of the people that have had issues submitting things last week, AP came out and said some of the issues might have been because of the browser or a not updated browser. So Chrome is the best. So if you're on your Chromebook, that's the only thing you have on there. If you're using a Mac or something else, try and use Chrome. Make sure your internet connection's ready to go, and then make sure you've kind of organized what materials you're going to use, and then have them up and ready before you actually start the exam. So obviously have your cheat sheet organized. I know a lot of you said you were going to organize that, make it a little more useful. Pull up those unit vocab review packets, pull up any notes you want, have those up and ready to go and all organized there before you start the exam. Other than that, maybe bust out a power pose before you actually start the exam. Pull those shoulders down and back. The Superman pose or Superwoman pose, whatever you want to do. Make sure you keep track of your breathing, keep that nice and regular. And then from there, just do your best and go with the flow, like you've been doing this whole virtual learning setup. So other than that, the only thing I wanted to remind you of, other than things to have prepared for, is what's prohibited. Just make sure you're not collaborating with other students. This also means if you have a Google Doc that's shared with other students, make a copy of that so it's just yours. That is one thing AP has came out and said is kids shouldn't be accessing Google Docs that are shared with everyone. So make sure you make a copy, or not just everyone, but anyone else. If it's shared with another classmate, if you did, like some of you ended up doing some of those review packets with each other, make sure you make a copy of it so just you are accessing it during the test. The other thing too, never post on social media after your exam. So no posting memes, even though you may want to. And then the other thing, AP just came out with this. There's a new policy for if you can't submit your exam due to technical difficulties. Now, my suggestion is copy and paste your exam into the testing program. So use a Google Doc, copy and paste it over. The biggest issue people have had is when they try to take a photo of handwritten stuff and then upload it. So my suggestion, you don't have to handwrite it. I know some of the math classes you had to handwrite things, but for us, you can just copy and paste it in there. That's my suggestion. However, if for some reason something goes wrong, at the end of the exam testing program, at the end of the exam, they'll put a screen up that says either congratulations, you've submitted your responses, or either there must have been an issue, you did not submit responses. If you submitted responses, good job. If you didn't submit a response, the new policy is on that screen, they'll give you instructions for how you can email in your response. So it'll tell you specifically what you have to do there. So follow the directions on the screen. That should keep you from having to do one exam, have the whole thing done, and then having to do a second one just because you couldn't submit it. However, if something goes wrong where you do have to do the makeup, we have that option. That's pretty much all I got for you. I'll talk to some of you. Maybe shoot me an email, see what you see on Tuesday. Other than that, good luck. Wishing you the best. I'll be thinking about you from 1 to about 1:50 tomorrow. Wishing for the best. All right, talk to you later. Let me know if you have any questions. Just shoot me an email.